Hey gang, I'm Will.
And Chase is who I am, and welcome back to That's Just WAC.
Today we are doing a blind draft, a WAC draft, if you will.
I will. Actually, I'm not. I'm Chase. He's Will.
Today we're drafting D&D monsters. Our producer, aka Dad, or the Prodadser, will be telling us how many people we will be drafting, or monsters in this case.
So we'll be drafting from the D&D list of monsters. Not all of them will be in the monster manual itself. Some might come from other sources, but they're all going to be well-known stat blocks. Now, this draft is going to be done in snake format, so whoever drafts first will do their draft, then the next person will draft two, then the next person will draft two. It's kind of unnecessary when you do it with two people.
And another specification, we will also only be allowed one boss monster.
Correct.
Boss monsters in this case being things like Demogorgon or Strahd von Zarovich, uniquely named stat blocks.
Right. Something that might be another creature type like a vampire lord, but because of their name and status, they have unique abilities. So someone like Jarlaxle Baneray might be an option for a boss monster. We'll only get one of these for the entirety of the draft each.
And once we have drafted each member of our team, our Prodadser will be telling us what we are drafting for. We will then move into a more debate or argumentative section of the video. And if it's necessary, Prodadser will, of course, tell us who he thinks would be the winner in this case.
Right. As you guys saw at the top of the video, the topic has already been determined. We don't know what it is, but Dad does. So he'll be telling us here pretty soon, but after we've drafted everything. He's told us we're drafting 6. Correct. So we need 6 each for each of our teams.
And I think to begin, we must first, of course, if we're doing D&D, roll for initiative.
All right, let's do it. You got a 18? Yeah, I got a 7.
Let's go.
You're up first.
All right. I think I will first be coming out the gate, absolutely swinging, and grabbing my man, a Serac.
Now, you just picked a boss.
I did.
Without even knowing the rest of your team.
No, yeah.
Okay, I'll be taking a different approach, and I'll be leaving my boss towards the end. I'm going to start off with a very well-known D&D monster. I'm taking the Beholder.
The Beholder. A nice pick, a nice pick.
And because it's snake format, that means that I'm the next one to go, and I'm going to grab a red dragon. Team needs some power. We have some intellect already. For reference, because we're trying to keep things at a reasonable CR for the average monster, this is an adult red dragon.
Adult.
We will only be allowing that boss monster or one per team to be over CR 20. So, keeping it on the 17-18 scale.
For my next pick, we'll fight dragon with dragon, going with an adult gold.
Oh,
dragon.
You Mr. Goody Two-Shoes and your gold dragon.
Well, I was going to pick red, but the red's already been taken, and there's no other good chromatic dragon.
What do you mean there's no other good chromatic dragon? The chromatic dragons are the only ones that get every type of breath weapon. I mean, aside from the dramatic ones, but you've got like a double up on fire. But I could have, with chromatic, if I were to take all of them, which would be ridiculous, fire, cold, lightning, acid, poison.
Yeah. There's no other good chromatic dragon because red's the best.
I mean, that is a factual statement, so. I mean, if we're thinking back to our time in Out of the Abyss, we all know and love our boy, Thimbershoud.
The big man himself.
What a lad. It's back to you. Snake format.
Snake format. I've already picked one, so I need a second one for this one. It's a little weird. We're going to go classic. I got to take the Goblin.
Oh, come on. I was hoping to grab the Goblin for myself, but I was going to leave it towards the end. Okay, so you've got the Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I could counterpick and go Kobold. for a low CR, freaky little
guy.
Yeah, freaky little guy. My low CR pick to counter yours is going to go in a different direction. I'm going to go with the classic zombie.
Zombie.
So that good basic stat block and having access to undead fortitude might not get knocked out so easily.
That's true,
not that this is a battle. We have no clue what it is going to be. Following up the zombie, I've got myself one undead, one dragon, and I've got the beholder. So I'm going to hit a rare category of monsters. I'm going to go for the gelatinous cube in the ooze section.
Gelatinous. That's how you spell that. 100%.
Right, because you're our spelling whiz between the two of us.
Of course.
Back to you.
I have a Serac, the adult gold dragon, a goblin. The mental image of just a goblin hanging out with these two.
The massive adult gold dragon,
The Lich.
a Serac, the all-powerful Lich,
And then a goblin.
Pimble Duck.
Alright, we will specify that as Pimble Duck.
So you've got your 3, you need 3 more, you get to pick 2 right now.
2 right now. Would you consider the Strixhaven student mages stat blocks monsters?
Not monsters in the sense that I would call them monsters, but what we are drafting is stat blocks effectively.
True.
So if you would like to draw one of the Strixhaven students,
Yeah.
specifically one of the pledge mages, I would assume is what you're going for.
Yeah. I think I will go with the Quandrix pledge mage.
Okay, so they have their unique exponential lash ability, letting them target one creature nearby to deal a small amount of damage to, and a second one further away to deal even more damage to. A very unique ability, but a cool one to say the least.
True.
Could be helpful, but it is just a student. How strong can they be?
Pretty freaking powerful.
Well, you've got another one, now that you've added random Quandrix student to your team.
And then I think I'll be going with a storm giant or a cloud giant.
Ooh,
Yes,
Cloud Giant. Okay.
Storm giant.
Darn, I thought I was going to catch you on that. Okay, yes. Of course, the Storm Giants are extremely powerful, very strong. So that puts you at 5 total.
Correct.
And I believe I'm about to take my last 2, correct? Because I have 4 right now? Mm-hmm. All right. I'm also thinking I should be getting into giant territory. Something to bring some extra strength to the team. Something beyond the red dragon I have. I think... Okay. I'm going to play with fire.
Okay.
The fire giant at least resists, might be immune to fire damage. I'm pretty sure they are immune. Meaning that I can send my giant up to any front lines and have the red dragon breathe fire. So, that'll be able to clear that super well. And, as stated, we each get 1 boss. You picked yours, Serac, right off the top, but I have left mine for the end.
Okay.
And I'd say my team's been lacking a bit of charm on its team. My team needs a spokesman. The giant, not going to do all that well. The zombie, his charisma's 5. He's not getting anywhere with that. The team needs a charmer, and I know no one better for the role. Then, as I stated earlier at the top of the video, I'm taking Jarlaxle Baneray for my boss and final member of the team. And the last pick is yours.
As funny as it would be to pick like a commoner.
You already have one really low CR monster with Goblin. Taking a double on that would be kind of crazy.
So I think I'm going to go with the Mind Flayer.
Oh, that's a good classic.
Classic.
And that does bring some intelligence to your team. So that could be handy depending on what it is we're drafting for. So
All right.
I think what we've got to do now Let's turn it over to Dad.
Dad? Father? Pradadser?
Please, tell us what it is we've been drafting for this whole time.
Escape room group.
Okay.
Well,
so, like we just said, that intelligence could be really handy.
Neither of us picked a vampire, because they could easily escape the room.
Well, that's just one. The whole point is your whole team has to escape.
All right, now hear me out. I think Pimbleduck the Goblin is going to be very handy here.
Right, of course.
Because
Pimbleduck.
Pimbleduck
not Goblin player.
No.
The Goblin stat block that has no higher than an 8 intelligence.
No, because here's why. He's gonna be pulling random things. Bookshelves, he's pulling all the books off. Eventually, he may find the handle that is a door.
He's also liable to think something is able to be taken off the wall and try tugging on it and break the escape room. After you've broken an escape room, you can't really escape. You're just done. Your game guide's not going to let you out at that point. You're trapped. You're going to lose.
It's fair.
I think Pimbleduck's a huge liability for your team.
No. Pimbleduck is the champion of this escape room.
Now, we both clearly have team captains in the sense of having intelligence. Your Mind Flayer is going to be super good. My Beholder is going to be super good. Both of us have dragons, and dragons are also incredibly intelligent creatures.
True.
I think my team's got something yours is lacking in Jarlaxle.
Okay.
I've got coordination. I've got someone who can make sure each person is running the right tasks. That way we don't have people repeating actions, trying to do the same thing over again when it doesn't work. Jarlaxle's going to be able to keep an eye on what everyone around the room is doing and able to make sure that people are doing what they are best at. So if there's something that requires things to be pushed in sync, he's not going to let that be taken on by, say, the zombie on my team, who's going to do a very poor job of meeting that requirement. He's going to make sure people are fitting their best roles because Jarlaxle is a leader. I think that's something you're lacking.
That's true. However, I do have, looking at your overall list versus mine, you're lacking that magic.
I mean, I have innate magic that comes with magical creatures.
Yeah.
Not like dragons really cast spells, but...
It's true, but you're lacking the ability to have access to spells such as, let's say, find traps, detect magic, the ability to look around the room and really check with using magical eyes if anything is off, if anything seems sus.
A certain spell like Find the Path could be a very helpful one.
Find the path, locate object, if it is as basic as find this key, find locate object, that key.
So, what are you saying about all this magic being helpful?
I'm saying it's helpful, you dingus.
Yeah, you saying you've got it?
Yeah. I have a Serac the Lich.
I was hoping you'd forget about him.
No. I have a Quandrix Pledge Mage. They've got magic.
Okay, let's be real, though. He's a Quandrix student.
Yeah.
We all know the type of Quandrix students. Right now in my campaign, where I'm running Strixhaven, there are 2 Quandrix students as players. One of them might be fairly handy. The other one is drunk off his ass. Which one do you have?
That's a 7. I got the drunk one.
All right, bam. So your Quandrix Pledge Mage is not going to be serving you all that well. Of course, though, you do have the Archlich himself, a Serac, the most powerful undead to ever hit the table in D&D. Well, aside from one.
I've also got the Goblin, who again
is a liability.
Not a liability.
He's a liability. Pimbleduck is going to tear something off the wall that you need to be able to use. He's going to expose the wiring, and you're just not going to be able to recover from that.
No,
it's just not going to happen.
Goblins always respect the man in charge. That's why they're always working for the big guy. When a Serac, the Gold Dragon, or anyone but the Goblin asserts themselves as the boss, this Goblin's falling in line.
All right. Here's something I think you've got a problem with. You've got a Gold Dragon, and they while good aligned, are still dragons. And dragons have issue with pride. Who is your team leader? Because if you want your hyper-intelligent Acererak to be the team leader, I think you've got troubles with the gold dragon wanting to step down and let that happen. I think you've got infighting.
You also have infighting, mister. I also have a dragon.
Okay, look.
You're
but
saying
he's a red dragon.
You're saying that's worse. You're saying Jarlaxle.
Jarlaxle just has to speak the right words, and the dragon's going to stand down. Do you know how persuasive Jarlaxle is?
Yes, I'm aware.
Acererak does not have that.
Yes, I'm aware of how persuasive Jarlaxle Baneray is. But, again, there's infighting.
Jarlaxle will be able to talk this dragon down. He is a smooth talker. If anyone is able...
You tell me that your Beholder is going to actually work?
It's the exact same deal. Because all you have to do is smooth talk the two of them to get them to stand down. You don't have that leadership capability where one person just has the force of presence to assert themselves as a leader. Your dragon's going to try and do it, but Acerak's not going to be able to talk him down.
It's a little
Acerak doesn't have the ability to say, you sit down and listen, I'm in charge.
It's a little dark. I think the Mind Flayer has the ability to make everyone listen.
Oh! I forgot you had a Mind Flayer.
I think the Mind Flayer has the ability to make all of my people listen to them.
Okay. But if that's the case, then your Mind Flayer is your team lead, not Acerak. And you're losing out on some intelligence as part of your team lead. And if he's in control of everyone, it's basically just 6 Mind Flayers running about. You lose Pimple Duck as a liability because he's being controlled.
Yeah, absolutely right.
But you no longer have the cooperation and coordination of others. You're stuck with what can this one Mind Flayer do with 6 bodies?
I think you do a lot.
I think the unique thinking, that diversity that comes with having everyone in control of themselves is going to be really handy.
We'll agree to disagree. Dad?
Are we turning it over already?
I think we might be turning it over to Dad, sir. Father. Dad.
All right. Dad?
Father. Per Dad, sir. Yes!
All right. That settles the...
Take that, mister. I only talk about Jarlaxle and the zombie.
Look, I'm pretty sure Jarlaxle was a pretty darn good pick, all things considered. My team has the higher collective intelligence. Let that be known.
Sure.
But the ruling has come from above, and we cannot deny...
Dad.
The All-Father, so... Unfortunately, that means that it is a loss for my team. The victory goes to Will.
Let's go.
To sum it all up, this draft league was certainly not normal. I think we could say that that's just whack. And hey, if you like the video, don't forget to like the video, comment, and subscribe. We've got a lot of other videos on the channel ready to go and more on the way. Check them out and see what you like.